Hi, everybody. Ron Placone here. You're watching another summary from the Indie Bohemians morning show. One of the things we talked about on the show today, Starbucks is looking to expand into the specialty coffee house market again. This time the concept is they're trying to create the, quote, Willy Wonka of coffee houses, which I thought was a weird analogy. I wasn't sure what that meant. Do you want to turn kids into blueberries? Do you want to kill bad kids? Do you want to trick kids into licking penis flavored wallpaper? That's what the snozberry was. Look it up if you don't know what I'm referring to. I didn't know what that meant. What it meant was Starbucks wants to create these specialty coffee houses that have a lot of different beans and stuff like that, and it's a big elaborate display. You can get your coffee straight from them. It focuses on more micro coffee makers and stuff like that. So Starbucks is trying to get into that specialty market, the market where people that don't want to go to Starbucks go to for specialty types of coffee. Now, this is not the first time Starbucks tried to enter a more niche field in the coffee market. Now, first of all, before I go further, quick disclaimer. This is not meant as necessarily a dig at Starbucks. It really isn't. When it comes to corporate responsibility, Starbucks is actually one of the bright spots in the United States. I mean, in terms of what they've done for some farms, in terms of the way they give employees benefits, and stuff like that, like even part-time employees get benefits. Some of the other programs Starbucks has done, like in terms of tuition remission and stuff like that. When it comes to corporate responsibility in the United States, Starbucks is among the better ones. Is that saying they're perfect as a corporation? I'm sure they're not. But compared to Walmart, compared to a lot of places, Starbucks is actually setting a pretty good example. So not meant as a dig at Starbucks or anyone that goes there. Just saying, a while back, Starbucks tried another experiment where they were trying to recreate the whole indie hip coffee shop experience, make it a little more of a hip Starbucks. So the designs were different. It had ambiguous names and markings. It failed miserably. And I was up in Seattle when this happened, so I saw it firsthand, all the experiments they were working with, and it failed miserably. And there's a reason for that. Okay, even though Starbucks has that corporate responsibility, they also, to some degree, kind of homogenize the coffee shop experience that a lot of people don't really care for much. As a result, those people go to the indie coffee houses, and you can't really recreate that Starbucks, not even if you have an ad agency that has some hip kids that are fresh out of college with their graphic design degrees, because that's not the culture an indie coffee shop really creates. It creates a culture that you can't really reproduce that way. It creates the culture that has the free-thinking open stage nights where there's some kid there that has some weird experimentational beatbox thing, and he does it, and he looks like he probably has dead bodies at his house, and maybe he does, and a quarter of the audience is really creeped out, a quarter of the audience is kind of into it, a quarter of the audience doesn't know what the hell's going on, and a quarter is just like, we're gonna go have a cigarette right now. But you see that guy, and you think that's kind of cool, and you look at all these people and you think, you know what, I'm glad I pay rent in the same city as these people. This is cool. I'm getting another espresso. That's the kind of culture a true indie coffee shop creates, and Starbucks can't just repackage that. You can't just homogenize that, nor can you try to do the specialty thing they're trying to do now, because the people that go to shops like that buy their coffee by the pound, they have a relationship with the coffee experts that help them pick out what they're going to have this week, stuff like that. It's not something, it's a specialty niche thing, and Starbucks, that's not what Starbucks does. Starbucks is a place to go when you want a coffee-themed milkshake or cream and sugar with a little bit of coffee going on in there somewhere. It's basically a dessert in a cup, and some people have it, and they're like, I'm an adult now. Look, I'm having caffeine, even though this is pretty much just a treat in a glass. But whatever, that's what Starbucks does, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's totally fine. But as far as the specialty niche coffee market goes, Starbucks, that's simply not what you do. You're the McCoffee of the world, and it's making you a lot of money, so just stay in your lane and be happy with that. And of course, a dude that's doing live YouTube events from his apartment should be giving one of the most successful CEOs in the world free advice. Why not? Of course I'm qualified. You've been watching another summary from the Indie Bohemians morning show, and this is Ron Placone signing out.